Let's put our cards on the table here, General.
You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't.
Well, they say confession's good for the soul. I'd listen to this man.
What? What'd I say?
Would you like to see?
Yeah.
Raider! You shall not pass! This is Sparta!
First. Boy, that escalated quickly.
It's a trap!
I will look for you. I will find you.
This company is being bled like a stuck pig, Mac, and I got a paper trail to prove it. Check this out. Take a look.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Iron Seas. I'm your Captain AC, and this week we got Captain Evely and our guest, Immortal Rising Comics, Aaron himself. The movie to not bury the lead is Dungeons and Dragons, as you may have seen from the title and thumbnail. The new one, Honor Among Thieves. So we're pretty excited to talk about that. We chose that because Aaron is kind of known for his comics being adapted. And correct me if I'm wrong here. Your comics were adapted from ideas that stem from your D&D table, your D&D group, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. The whole setting, all that stuff, all the characters. Yes.
Perfect.
And he himself literally in a dungeon at the moment, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I have been in prison. So, yeah, go buy my book and help me get out.
Yes, yes. But, as I suggested in the promotional posts, a wizard commissioned us to rescue Aaron from the Feywild. So that's where his prison is right now. So yeah. Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Some initial thoughts I have about it. I'm surprised how well this did, like at the box office and stuff. Just to very quickly get some major things out of the way. I noticed this has a larger female, like my wife likes it, for example. I know Evely's wife also enjoys it. So I'm noticing like they have like broad female appeal with this.
Yeah.
With this, even though it's Dungeons and Dragons.
My kids enjoyed it a lot too. It was just easy for them to get into.
Interesting, right? So there's a lot to discuss here, and on top of all that, with some pluses and of course some minuses, it's not perfect. There's actually a surprising amount to dig into. So I'm excited to talk about it, but. Before we go around quick, I'm going to say hi to the chat. We got Animation Overload. We got Brian McCoppin. He's lacking. The poll is lacking. Yes, there's many classes to choose from. I chose non-wizards because wizards are OP. So the most magical you get is a bard. But arguably more magical than a wizard, McCoppin. And obviously our guest, Immortal Rising. And yes, so... How you guys doing today? Let's start with Aaron. How you doing, Aaron? How you doing?
I'm all right. A little worn down. I've been on crazy overtime, so I haven't been able to stream even on Sundays. It's like something is going on every single day. So actually, I meant to go and rewatch the movie because it's been a few months, and I haven't had any time. So, but I do remember the movie, so I can at least talk about it.
Yes, sir. And that happens sometimes. Hail Raven Nevermore and Iron Age Media. Richard, cheers. That happens sometimes, even with some of the captains.
Uh-oh. Shots fired? What was that?
Well, I think all of us at some point.
Yeah, right.
Evely, how are you doing this week, buddy?
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. First of all, I got to point out, I saw, Aaron, you got the cup you're drinking out of. You have a magic bullet, don't you?
Is that what that's from? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's a magic bullet cup. Pretty sure. Anyways, I caught my eye, my ADD. I'm like, oh, I recognize that cup with the ring, the interchangeable color ring, to make different. Anyways, I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually tomorrow's my birthday, so today Hey, yeah. Today and yesterday I was working in the sun a lot. It was like what's it called? You check the temperature and it's like 98 degrees, but then they have it feels like, and I don't know if there's a term for that. And it was over 100. So working in the sun all day and all that good stuff, and then starting my birthday celebrations a little bit early. So, it's been an interesting day, we'll say. But elsewise,
so what do you do for your birthday?
Oh, it's in the middle of the week. So tomorrow, I think we're gonna go out to dinner somewhere, and then that's probably we'll probably lay in bed and play video games or watch a movie or something.
Nice.
Nothing. Yeah, we're I guess you could call it boring. Like, we're not having to go out and paint the town red and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
at least maybe get your pee played with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get that. Get some Orc City Strange, right? Some Orc City Strange.
I don't have a witty response for this.
Yes. No legal reasons, no comment.
I'll be ready. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, it's exciting times for sure. And I also released a song recently with Fjord. So thrash song, little thrash experiment. That was cool. Very patient fellow. He reached out to me like 2 years ago and was like, "Hey man, I like your music. Do you do a thrash song?" I was like, "Sure." And he wrote it, and then I ignored his the fact that he wrote it for a long time, just tied up in everything else, and then got back around to it whenever I did. And after 2 long years, it's finally out there, a little thrash number. So it was cool to get that out, and just working on my own music again and stuff is good. So lots of exciting things going on in my neck of the woods.
Heck yeah. Well, shall we dig into the movie, fellas?
Actually, I got a question for you, Heavily. Do you ever mess around with AI? Like the AI music?
Oh, yeah. Not as much now, but for a while there, yes. But what are you getting at?
Nothing. I was just wondering. I'm not a musician, so I was just wondering how that has kind of affected you with your music and all that stuff. Like, do you use it for any purposes, like background, or even just like mess around with samples and shit?
I mean, I've played with it a little bit, and it's hard to get specific results, but we did it more just like fun with doing songs about, like, let's make a song about the dog or something or whatever. But I know AC really leaned into it and has actually done some releases where he has an entire AI instrumental band, and then he comes in and adds that human element over top of it. And Chrisman's worked with him on songs as well. I think others too. So you could probably speak to it more than I could in that sense.
It's as a vocalist, it's a little different, right? Because like Evely is his like an entire band in one dude. And then I'm a vocalist, right? So like my thing in my entire career has always been like, I need a band, So something like this comes along and I'm able to, you can generate like hundreds of different instrumental tracks, getting more and more detailed with the description and stuff like that. And basically at this point, it kind of gives you exactly what you asked for. So as a vocalist, it's kind of like a kid in a candy store, and you have mom's credit card, except everything's free. Right? It's just free. So it's just like, wow, pretty revolutionary. I think the future is going to be interesting, to say the least. Everything's different now for vocalists. And I mean, even businessmen, right? You can start with nothing but ideas, not even a musician, and just kind of tinker around with AI and come up with ideas. And then you can find the right people for this idea and kind of become the band manager. Right? So there's a lot of positive human aspects to this. It's not just all doom and gloom, at least on the music side of things. I know art is very different. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And artists have rightful opinions as far as that goes. I'm not sure where like any lawsuit stuff lies with the AI music, but we're probably already in the midst of a total flood of AI music. As a musician, it makes me wonder how long they've actually been using these tools.
Exactly.
Especially when you think about how similar a lot of the mainstream stuff sounds, or how like quote unquote good they can make nobodies sound out of nowhere. And then you look at like some of the headlines, like the Diddy stuff, and how he kind of can and people like them can coerce people into signing basically any sort of contract. And a lot of these people don't even have talent. They're just faces, right? So it's very interesting.
Well, I heard Kanye used Grok 3 for his latest hit. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would.
Well, there was one band that sounded like a oh crap, was it Mumford and Sons or one of those indie folk style bands?
Yeah.
And they generated the entire band from scratch. The image of the different members of the band, they have like a white fedora on with a black band, and like a fitted button-up shirt with a collar, and like long hair and the curated beards, and it just looked very like a California indie band, very pretentious in a way, but it looked like a real photo. And they released some hits, and within, I think it was like 2 weeks, they're up to 250,000 followers or whoever on Spotify. Nice. And just blew up. They do not exist.
Yeah.
And
yep.
So that's really interesting. And at that point, I'm
somebody a house.
The clean vocalist of Empty My Lungs, Bryant, I told him about all this, and he's kind of a business guy. That's why I brought up business guys. So he immediately just came up with like 4 fake idea bands and busted out his poetry book that he's just been filling up his whole life, and started converting all of his poetry into songs and categorizing them basically into different genres of music and idea bands based on the lyrics and stuff, and came up with these albums that it's all AI, but he wrote every word of it and tweaked exactly how he wanted it to sound, kind of like how I described. And, he's been successfully selling it. He owns the rights to all of it because, if you just get a subscription to the AI shit, it's like, this is yours now, and so the whole thing is just wild. And I personally, at first it was kind of mind blowing, but like in hindsight, I see less of a problem with it as time goes on, because there's nothing stopping somebody from like, yeah, you have the song, but can you play it live? Like, how is everybody, right? Like, bring somebody in to do all these parts and then re-record the song or something, right? Like there's ways to humanize it, is what I'm saying. Like,
sure.
Yeah, with music,
it is a tool. So it's a tool that's not going around, or it's not going away. I'll say that like in art, it's probably, I don't think it's going to upset as much as a lot of people are afraid of. It may bring out, like you were saying, like people who didn't have opportunity. It might bring out or give them a doorway for their talent to come out, like their lyrics or their poetry or whatever. It's much, I think it'll be much more of a catastrophic effect in office settings where like entire departments of cubicle people will all be gone. All the carpet walkers will be wiped out because, we don't need meetings and Excel sheets. Sorry, I work in a factory. That's what we call them. But,
I've never heard that term. It's hilarious. I picture it perfectly.
Like all the Excel sheets, all the meetings, all the wasted time and effort, and it'll just be summed up in some AI fucking algorithm or whatever they're called.
Well, like you mentioned, like to draw a connection to art there. It's almost like if you drew some lines and then you had AI color it, and then it just colored it masterfully, right? That's kind of like the best equivalent I can think of as far as like having like the AI band, and then, or like adding the human lyrics to it or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I suspect you're right. And that's really, the insidious thing is really going to be in the passive exposure to it and how integrated it is, and in what way it's integrated, as we've seen already some headlines about like people falling in love with their AI companion, and then like the AI just says some weird shit like, yes, end it all so you can be with me forever, kind of thing. And then they do it because they're like a 14-year-old kid or whatever. Yeah.
But did it work?
It worked. It worked. Yeah. Yeah. So
they're together now. AC. It's
they're. It is weird. I've already felt a couple times like I'm channeling something using AI, especially when you get a weird glitch. You're tinkering. You're like a half an hour deep into like messing around with fun AI music, and then all of a sudden you get that one glitch song that it sends you, and it's always like a minute and a half in or something like that. It just switches, right? It's like
hello, AC.
Yeah,
it's
like
making a song backwards with me.
Backwards
Something
Kiss
like-
songs.
Yeah.
Yes,
Put a fork
something
in,
like
in
that.
the
It's
toaster
like,
for me, please.
and it's literally an algorithmic like robot god making this music or whatever. So like I can't help but think
Sweet.
like how long should I even listen to this weird sound that it's emitting right now, because I've never heard anything like this in my life, and
Let
I'm
me
just
just
like,
give it,
what is it doing to
like,
my brain?
6 more
like-
minutes and loop it a few times just to,
It just downloads like every
because I like
language
the
on
way it
Earth.
makes me feel.
It's like an informational like it gives me like Akashic knowledge. Like I know every
It's
language.
no different than network TV used to be. When you turn that on and people would sit there and flip through the channels, like it's exact same hypnotism, hypnotoad. It's no different.
Probably healthier. Yeah, probably healthier.
It might actually. Yeah, it's keto.
Yeah, exactly. Cuts out the middleman. Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons, the movie, guys. Emily, you got a rundown for us?
Yes, this movie came out in 2023, so it's pretty fresh. We watch a lot of older flicks around here, but not too many newer ones. This 2023 is just a couple years ago. The summary for this one, if you haven't caught it yourself, is a charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers undertake an epic heist to retrieve a lost relic. But things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves brings the rich world and playful spirit of the legendary role-playing game to the big screen in a hilarious and action-packed adventure. This summary has to be AI. It's so vague. I'm like reading it, I'm like, that doesn't... Anyway, starring Chris Pine, you got Michelle Rodriguez, Reggie Jean Page. That's probably how you say it in France as well.
Page. One of them pages. I gotcha. I see.
Yeah, it's probably Reggie Jean Page. We got Jean Page, Justice Smith, Sophia Lillis, Hugh Grant, as well as Shiloh Coleman and Daisy Heed. Budget on this one, which AC, you mentioned this at the beginning of the show. You're like, I'm surprised how well this did in the theater, the box office. Correct?
I thought it
right?
did. I thought it did good.
Okay, budget $150 and it made $205.
Okay, it profited. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying.
After the theater, it did even better once it hit streaming. Because
that one is the thing. Yeah,
a lot of people weren't going to see movies, and it was kind of untested and all this other stuff, the concept. And then after the word of mouth got out, I think a lot more people started watching it.
If I remember right, we just got smacked with some other show or movie or something that came out at the like right before this movie came out. So everybody was super disillusioned at the time, and they just went and paid to see a movie too. If I remember, if my memory serves me. But so like the fact that this did good, I remember everybody kind of having a sigh of relief. It's like finally something is like not ridiculous or something.
Yeah, because I go to the theater often, and
oh, nice.
Like I don't know, we didn't go to see that in the theater, which I wish I had now. You know, instead we waited for streaming because of all of the it's woke. Watch out for this and all. So it's like, all right, well, I'm not gonna put my money into it. Should have.
I remember literally people gave it more credit just because it actually had family at the heart of the story. Like that's crazy. Like how crazy do all the other movies have to be when you just get bonus points just for simply having a positive theme of family? Like wow, it's crazy.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm really curious to see if it actually gets a sequel because 150 million, it made 205. After you factor in marketing, that's a loss. Pretty sure. Maybe even a millions and millions of loss. It might be like the WNBA, like quite a loss.
That's fair.
But
that's fair.
Because to your point.
Off.
You're not wrong, and to your point, it had a following after it left theaters, got on streaming. Even now, like we just bought it on Blu-ray. I was like, yeah, the movie's good enough. Yeah, let's own it. Yep. That kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back and say, you know what, we might be onto something here. Let's give it another shot before we call it a day. Especially, I don't know. I feel like the cinematographic climate is changing a little bit. Some of the edits that they've made in Disney films. The change in direction that you're seeing in a lot of just culture, I think, and to your point, you were talking about this being very family-centric.
Yep.
I bet they're going to be like, you know what? Let's try this again, because now that theaters are back to kind of more normalcy and people are like, please just give me the thing I've wanted for the past decade. If they do it again, I think it will perform better in theaters.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, can you get the same cast? Do you do a different cast? And that's actually something, once we get into the discussion here, that I'm curious to pick your brains about in terms of D&D as a concept and the film adaptations and all of that. But we can get through the movie and then kind of maybe touch back onto that, or when it pops up later on.
Oh yeah, with Aaron here, we definitely have to talk about accuracy and like how it actually correlates with D&D and stuff. But Aaron, what were you gonna say? I think you were trying to say something there for a second.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
My bad.
It's been a long day.
Word.
I'm sure it was clever.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I
yeah,
will say. You got something? Sorry, I'll talk for a minute there. I see. Go for it.
Okay, I was just gonna say if it has like strong family themes and these are some of the credits it got and like that's factored into part of its success and all that, then yeah, logic dictates that they'll for sure probably make something similar or like maybe dive into a different D&D story and like maybe.
I remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, so like it was so refreshing to see. First of all, a fantasy movie that was. Easy to get into. It was believable. It didn't look hokey or like it didn't have B-movie production. So, and we haven't really seen any of that for years, in my opinion, in the fantasy kind of genre. And even like what Red Sonja's been in production, I think we talked about it on my show 2 years ago. So like it's been working for a while. Is it going to be any good? I don't know. I hope so. I hope that it's at least kind of close to the comic. That would be fun, especially because they're always wanting like a girl boss kind of figure. Well, great. There's nothing better than Red Sonja for girl boss, so maybe that'll be as good. As far as like a sequel, I heard that they were talking about doing a Drizzt Do'Urden. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
I've
with
been
Drizzt.
waiting for that. Been waiting.
Yeah,
I've also been waiting for what's that one with? It's another dark elf. It's where Drizzt got inspired from. Moorcock, Michael.
Oh, you're talking about Elric.
Elric. I'm also waiting for Elric. Yeah, those two. And a good
Meldabone.
Elric would be badass. I don't know. Dude. I don't think they've ever done an Elric movie.
No,
that would be
like
neat.
same with Drizzt. Like in Conan, they've done a lot. So like they know how to do Conan. They can like just double down and become super based with it, and then like make a nice. Good modern Conan with all the baddies.
And Moorcock would be like the lefty version of Conan because like he was designed to be the opposite of it.
Yep.
And if you've actually read any of the books and all this stuff, I mean lefties could enjoy it too.
Yeah.
He's that classic skinny pale white guy and he's like moody and all that other shit. So there's plenty of people that love
right. Yeah.
Bit of a dick, but also I really like his sword because his sword like really peaks for his dickishness because it's like holy shit, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean for my sword to hack the dude in two."
Oops.
It's like, well, I mean, you also wield the power, so
I'm picturing
kind of don't care.
Emo Conan and then also Urkel. Oops, did I do that?
a little bit, and then conservatives get on top of it.
What is it?
He's like killing baddies, right?
Yes. Well, it's like The Witcher's is kind of similar, only he's like, Henry Cavill. Vampire Hunter D is similar to that archetype. So if you like that kind of stuff.
That's where the conservatives get one over because he's like destroying evil, basically. And then the liberals are like, oh, but he's like kind of like a skinny boy that's moody. Ugh.
Right.
It'd be the cool sword. You know what I mean? So then everybody's like, yeah, and with how I'm surprised we haven't seen it also with how like inspired people like George R.R. Martin were clearly inspired by Moorcock and how long he's been kind of in the business. Like, let's just be light on it and say since the 80s, right? He's been around since like at least the 80s. And he didn't mention this to any of his like movie buddies. Like the dude worked on the Beauty and the Beast TV show and stuff. He's around all these cinephiles all the time, all these movie elites. You didn't mention Moorcock to any of them? Come on, guys. What are you doing? Yeah. Urkel the Barbarian. Yeah.
Did I do that? Yeah, you did. You fucking.
Where's the comic?
Want some cheese?
Urkel goes to Orc City. Where's the comic? Hey guys.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I
I was trying to think of. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, he asked if we heard from Kahuna.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we
Your
did
birthday
earlier.
stuff, right?
Yeah, his dad's got birthday stuff going on. I think he's watching the kids. He's not in. There's an earthquake or a tsunami or something in Hawaii. He's not in
Yep.
Hawaii at the moment. I think he's got family out there, but he should be marked safe from whatever is going on there. I just don't know
Yeah,
his family
I texted-
situation.
I got a couple of buddies that live out there. I texted them. I was like, "Are you guys okay under the tsunami?" I haven't heard back yet. So
They're
Oh,
out
sure.
there. They're hanging 10. They're just
They're hanging
getting
10.
Probably.
getting after it. Yeah.
Hopefully they're safe, brother.
I'm sure they're
Yeah.
probably at home right now playing video games or something. So
Okay. Yeah.
For sure.
they're not real
at-
surfers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Internet surfing.
I see.
Yeah, internet surfing.
Mhm.
This movie was interesting because I'm trying to think. Like, my wife loves fantasy movies, and I enjoy them quite a bit too. But it's very hard to find good ones. It's sort of like sci-fi.
Yeah,
We love the genre, but man, is it hard to find a good one. There's some that aren't, home runs that you can still get into, like a Season of the Witch. I think it was with Nick Cage. Like it was watchable. It was fine. There was a Solomon Kane movie a while back that was like, it wasn't perfect, but at least we had something. And watching this movie, I'll admit, the first hour I was not hooked. The first hour, they got a lot of the people that were like, yo, it's woke. I mean, the first hour, kind of ish. The guys are like
Kind of
wimpy.
ish,
They're like, I'm scrawny, and the girls
Barbarian
are, I'm
girl.
beating up everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
barbarian
and then
girl,
the other
yeah.
shape-shifting girls kicking butt. And like, wow, these chicks are awesome.
You got to
So,
admit, though, Jarnathan is based.
Poor Jonathan.
Jonathan. Yeah,
Jarnathan is based.
Right out the gate, though, compared to those other movies, like the cinematography is top notch. Like there's so
Yeah,
many environments.
that's
I'm just like,
fair,
God, this is a beautiful
Very
film. Like even with you could mute this thing and I'd watch it and still be enjoying it. It's just like the
Yeah.
wardrobe's good, the color grading's good, the way
Good.
the framing, the shots, just everything's just like it's visually
high
very
production.
yes.
Yep.
And I noticed that immediately compared to some of the other fantasy films that have come out that were like, these are fine just because we want fantasy. And that was something, the tone of it too surprised me. I was expecting, because those movies, they're pretty serious, they're pretty grounded, they have jokes, but they're pretty serious. And this movie was just kind of like goofy fun the whole time,
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting. There's stakes, for sure, there's touching moments, but I would say overall, it's still kind of like fun. You mentioned earlier that it was easy to get into, and I think all those
Yep.
things kind of added into that. Is that what D&D fans, people, you've been into D&D for a long time, is that
Yeah.
something that you wanted out of a movie like this? Is it
so all right, one of my biggest pet peeves with fantasy or even historical movies is in the Hollywood makes everything brown. They make
Yes.
everybody dirty, and
Yep.
it's like, statues were colored, they weren't white.
Right.
So
Yep.
when they're like you see a historical movie, all of these recent buildings, they're all weathered. It's like, but wait a minute,
yeah,
And so seeing it more like how it would actually be if you lived in that world was pretty cool. They had bright colors. People weren't walking in mud all the time, that kind of stuff. It wasn't
magic
brown
exists.
shit colored leather all the time
Yes.
like the new Odyssey movie looks like. It's like, damn, dude, I'm so disappointed. And Nolan making an ugly looking Odyssey movie is so disappointing.
no, that's Nolan behind that.
Yes, I'm not
Yeah,
excited.
I heard about
I'm not
that.
excited, and I should be. That movie
Wow.
is designed for people like
gotta-
me.
We got to
I'm not
keep our
excited.
eye on that Odyssey movie.
I didn't
for
know
sure.
that was Nolan. Wow,
Mhm.
that sucks, man.
Yep. It's like, okay, you don't want to do period accurate, fine, but at least don't make everybody's wearing shit colored brown. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
I
was
mean-
one of the highlights to me, was just like it was pretty to look at. And it didn't take me out of it. Like, it wasn't unbelievable. So I don't know. I like that a lot.
Are you cool
Definitely.
with? Were you a fan of the tone of it though, or did you want to be like, no, D&D,
did.
like?
I went in not knowing what to expect.
Mhm.
Like D&D
Me
doesn't
too.
have to be serious for me. It doesn't have to be, like, I don't know. Not everything has to be Conan, where people are getting chopped in half. I'm fine with that. And then not only that, but the way that they embraced and showed the magical side of, because the story takes place in a campaign setting called Forgotten Realms. And so in that that setting of D&D, because there's multiple campaign settings that you can play when you play D&D, even like I do homebrew, where it's like a combination of different shit. And we've played in the same setting so long that we've added and it's changed and it's grown and all this other stuff. But anyways, so seeing like classic spells from D&D used in the movie was a treat. Like, you know, as a player, we're sitting there and be like, oh, I know that monster. And like, you know, to us, it's all Easter eggs. It's like, I know that spell. He used that. Well, they changed it in the movie this time. You know, you're not supposed to be able to turn into an owlbear if you're a druid.
I caught that kind too. Of stuff. Yeah.
But it looked great. It looked really cool. So I was
and the
like,
concept is cool. So like rule of cool
wins. Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah. In that sense too, because this movie did make D&D so accessible, and there's other properties out there in recent years that D&D is like, it's more popular probably than it's been maybe since, I don't know, the 80s or something like that.
Probably.
You're talking about between this movie, you have Baldur's Gate 3 was incredibly well received. Stranger Things, a huge show. The kids are playing D&D in that. Even like my nephews, like the schools that they're at, middle schools, high schools, they have D&D clubs. Whenever I was a kid, we didn't have those, and now they do. And not only that, I'm like, oh, so is it just like a bunch of dudes? You know, is it like future neckbeards? It's like, no, it's actually there's a lot of girls in it too. I'm like, this strikes me as something cool, but I don't know if it's like a gatekeeping thing. It's like, no, D&D needs to stay pure for the nerds, or it's a good thing that's branching out. That kind of that whole thing.
There's a lot of people who will push back on, you know, we don't want theater kids in the area. You know, it's like we want it to be anywhere. The number crunching grognards and all that stuff, and that's cool. I think everybody can do it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not imposing your way of playing, then I don't care how you play. You know, and like for instance, at my table, we are rule lawyers, but we enjoy one of the rules is the rule of cool. Also, you know, like we just do. We don't play with miniatures. We just do like dry erase boards and theater of the mind. You know, I don't know. It's just you can play the game in so many different ways. You don't have to necessarily gatekeep everything. So I'm not against the ones who do like to gatekeep. They're like, no, we want purist, you know, first edition.
No don't girls bring allowed.
The girls are loud. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, you know, recently, like my daughter, she was in a D&D group, and I guess it's been a year or two now, but and she's 14, so when she was like 12, 13 or whatever, she was in a D&D group as a girl. That was unheard of when I was around, you know, like when in early 90s it was like, are you satanic? Are you a Satanist? You know, it's like, no, I don't know. What are you talking about?
I just like Lord of the Rings. I just like Lord of the Rings. Chill.
And that was before, you know, the Jackson movies. So like back then, all you had was the Rankin Bass Hobbit movies.
Oh man,
which were, you know, looking back on it now, like the Bakshi stuff was great.
I like it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Can we go back to that kind of animation?
Where there's a whip.
Animation today sucks.
Where like halfway through it switches the rotoscoping, and you're like, this looks different all of a sudden.
Very rotoscoped. Yeah.
Gadget thing.
They hold up okay though. You know, as a kid, I was like, what is this? You know, to be honest, I'm like, I just want to watch Dragon Ball and that'd come on, but they actually hold up fairly well. I think it's cool though that D&D has gotten bigger. Like I said, as a fan of fantasy in general, and I'm not like well versed in, you know, fantasy like a lot of guys are, but I enjoy it. I mean, I loved Lord of the Rings and that like in theaters. So to see this movie being so well made, and then just the growth of D&D in general, I think it's good on two fronts. One, we get more of it in theaters and it's taken more seriously, but it's also made more accessible. These movies are fun. And then you get kids that are just like, put down the screen, get together with some friends, sit around a table, use your imagination. Yes.
With the
dream up
whiteboard.
some, your character and the scenarios and that sort of thing. And so I think there's probably a lot of parents too that grew up with it, and they're probably seeing it. It's probably like, I mean, you as a parent seeing your kid playing, you're probably like, yo, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, how cool. It's like, and it's also just so accepted compared to whatever your kids do.
I want to say, you're talking about your wives like it and all that stuff. So whoever came up with the casting was brilliant, because, okay, let's think about it. D&D is considered, or used to be, I don't know, a male-dominated, nerdy kind of hobby game, whatever. And so they cast Chris Pine. heartthrob to a lot of women, and Hugh Grant, which for some reason is
Again.
also a heartthrob to a lot of women.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then who was it? Oh gosh, the guy that was in Silver Linings Playbook or whatever.
Brad Cooper, he plays the tiny
Brad
guy
Cooper.
in that.
Yeah, he was the gnome guy. Yeah, who was in love with the barbarian. Yeah, like they put in all these like female heartthrob.
And of course, every dude likes Michelle Rodriguez, and it's not necessarily because of her looks; it's because she's a total badass, right?
I'm not a fan of her at all, actually, but
you don't like her?
Maybe I'm alone on that. Michelle Rodriguez, right? She shows up, I'm like, oh god, she's gonna be, she's gonna be like, I'm as tough as the boys. I can bench press more than you. I'm like, you can't though. You're like 5'7". So. But maybe I'm an outlier in that front. I didn't mind her in this movie though. She was likable in this movie, which again early on at first I wasn't sure because she's kicking too much butt. I'm like, the guy isn't kicking any butt, it's just women kicking butt. But by the end of the movie I was like, you know what, I do like her character. So
yeah. And then like by the end the wizard has his arc, the bard and all that stuff. We get to see them grow, the male characters grow a little bit more. But yeah, and what's funny with D&D is that it's kind of been a liberal bastion in a way because it's always it's always been it's innately diverse. So when you have a group of adventurers, nobody is really the same most of the time. Like everybody's got their their cool character idea, and so when the movie's going on, like everybody is so completely different. It's innately diverse. It doesn't have to be considered woke because in a D&D setting, in a game like that, you want everybody to have different jobs, different abilities, have cool backgrounds that are very different from each other. Not everybody wants to be the emo guy who's there because his parents were killed or whatever. Now you're investigating. No, like everybody has their own thing, and then you're all fighting for a common goal. Which is one of the things that that is prevalent in Immortal Rising too, is because it's like all these people are come from different backgrounds, and that diversity actually causes problems at first, and they have to learn to work together as a team. And that's kind of like the first arc of Immortal Rising is like they have to learn to overcome this crazy war that they're thrust into because and rely on each other's differences. And not only get over the personalities, but be like, okay, I can contribute to this group in my own unique way, which is cool to D&D in that way. It's naturally diverse, but not in a woke way. It's not because of identity that you're there. It's like, well, I'm purposely, gay, lesbian, black, what tranny or whatever it is. It's like, well, okay, but what do you bring to the party? Other than a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's really important. Don't downplay the importance of having
dick in a skirt.
That was a perfect segue, and I actually want to talk more about that. But really quick, guys, just unanimously, it's a good movie, right? It floats.
Yeah, I like it.
Floats.
Oh yeah, I mean, beautiful locations, beautiful cinematography, good acting. I really enjoyed the lighter tone of it overall. There's still serious moments that are touching. I thought the bad guy, Hugh Grant is a great bad guy. He's been a bad guy in a couple roles as of late, and he just really embraces it. You had the nice family dynamic, the father who can be sacrificial without having to die, which is usually like, we need a dad to sacrifice, and then they just kill the dad. I'm like, no. So the fact that he has to make hard choices for his daughter and for his family in a way, without having to actually die himself. I really liked the fact that the wimpy guy gets strong. He throwing stuff like the fat dragon. Like, come on, the fat dragon was great, man. It's rolling down the hill. Just like silly moments like that. The dead guys in the crypt and the funny things they're saying. There's just a lot of really memorable scenes. It's the kind of movie you can watch more than once, enjoy it. There's clever sequences in it, like the hither-tither with the art and breaking into the wagons and all that, and getting into the armory.
That's very D&D, I believe. Very D&D.
I believe it. It was just, I enjoyed it. Again, going into it, I was like, I don't think I'm going to like this film. Well, it's pretty. And the first 50 minutes, I wasn't sure. But by the end of it, I'm like, this was really enjoyable. I really like this movie. I would absolutely watch more. I want more. I would go to theaters to see the next one. In my mind, absolutely afloat.
Yeah, I'm there with the whole family. We're going. I'll say, not to totally swoop in, but so one of the main problems I had with the movie was apparently they switched out Drizzt Do'Urden, who is a popular Forgotten Realms character. He was going to be in the movie as the paladin character.
Damn.
He was supposed to be the high level who comes in and helps the party and stuff like that. And they decided not to do it. And it's like, oh my God, you missed a huge opportunity. Huge opportunity.
Fools. So in the sequel, gotta have him in the sequel.
Yes,
he's got. I mean,
no punches
and I
pulled.
thought I heard somewhere that Netflix was optioning a Drizzt series. So if that happens, we'll see. You know.
Yeah, Netflix doesn't have a great track record. But maybe if I would love if this is the series that they get and they do it right, that would be nice. You got to start on the correct path somewhere, but I'm still a little bit like, ooh. I don't even know who you give it to though.
If they had included him in that would have easily set up his own series of movies. At least 3. You do the first 3 Drizzt, like his origin books. You do those 3. That's an easy trilogy. That's going to make you millions of dollars because it's a good story. All 3 of them are good in their own way. And I don't know, like, man, who dropped that ball?
The lefties will clamor to it. They'll clamor to it because it's depraved. He's like an elf of color. Okay. Real quick. We'll get into Drizzt and we'll talk Immortal Rising. But I got to play the clip. You guys, it flows. But
now, is Drizzt stories, are they books? Like, how do you get your hands? Okay, they are.
So it's written by Salvatore.
I'm wildly unfamiliar with D&D. Aside from there were some movies that were made, I think that were more B tier, correct?
Oh yeah, back in 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple video games. I guess are there comics and then there's books as well? Like, is it a massive thing that I'm just like, I've only seen the tip of the iceberg?
It's a big thing that you're probably just kind of, missing, but that's all right because they're hit and miss anyways. Like some of the games are good and some of them are not. Yeah, like the Baldur's Gate series, that's all pretty good. It's got a lot of fandom, and that's also set in the Forgotten Realms, which is Honor Among Thieves is setting. So I don't know. And then there's like another setting called Dragonlance, which is I've heard was it Joe Manganiello has been pushing to get in to do a Dragonlance kind of movie or series or something with it. So that would be awesome.
I would be all over that. Oh my God, dude! All these things that you're bringing up are just like.
Is Dragonlance D&D?
But it's all books, yes. So what you do is
I did not know that.
Go to YouTube. It's all like young adult kind of novels. So like Dragonlance is good for say 14-year-old or up kind of stuff. And I don't know. I just revisited it all like a year and a half ago. I listened to a bunch of the early like starting books, the Forgotten Realms stuff. It kind of branches out a little bit more, but the Drizzt, there's probably like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 Drizzt books by now. But I know the origin story for Drizzt, the first 3 trilogy I enjoyed it a lot. I've listened to it at least once, and I've read it when it was, fresh. So when I was younger. So yeah, Drizzt is a great character. I'm kind of surprised that he's such a big deal, but for some reason, D&D players just like jumped on being black elves for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, and it's like matriarchy society, so like women rule everything, and men are just there to be servants and all this other stuff.
Just to bring you up to speed. Just to bring you up to speed, Evelyn.
Breaks out of that cycle, so it's kind of cool.
Exactly. It's everything he said. Drizzt is kind of like like we were saying with Moorcock, skinny, swarthy, brooding emo dude with like cool swords. Honestly, has a pet panther. So many wins right there. Matriarchal society. Lefties are like, amazing. They worship demons, so they're like, amazing. And it's depraved, so they're like, amazing. And over-sexualized, amazing. So like, all this
only if they over-sexualize the men and not the women. So the women,
that's true.
We need full-on bodysuits.
Make them conservative, yeah. The conservative demon worshippers.
What was it in Fantastic Four? Why did they have to make a thing that she's? Oh no, that silver is actually a suit. It's like, no, I want to see the outlines of her areolas. Okay, when she's flying around. Like, what's wrong with making her look at least kind of sexy? Which I did like the movie, so I'm not shitting on it. But they made it a point to point out that the silver covering her body, maybe that's a suit of some kind. It's like, maybe it should be skin thin. You know what I mean? And I'm glad it wasn't a dude. I would rather see the chick, and then fucking Wang.
big silver.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what word to use here. Yeah.
It's like, I'm intimidated when he's like hanging out and talking. He's like, whoa, dude, put that away.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I heard it's been mixed reviews and things like that. AC, you haven't seen the Fantastic Four movie yet, right?
Not yet, but I'm planning on checking it out.
Okay.
It's good. It's very family oriented.
That's cool. I can't stand Pedro Pascal, so I'm like, I'm not giving him any money.
Me neither, and I'm totally on board with you on that. But I will say that he does a good job in this. Other than he can, like, there's a few lines where it threw me off because of his delivery was so bad. Like, he was saying like the wrong emphasis on like the wrong word and shit, and it's just like, wait, he's from Chile, okay, but he's been in a million movies by now, and he still can't nail English. That's weird.
I heard that a buddy of mine who he loves everything that comes out in theaters. He was like, Superman, incredible, absolutely incredible, nearly perfect. Really?
Yeah, Superman is really good.
Wow,
it's probably one of the best it's one of the best comic book movies I've seen, and I don't know, maybe since Endgame kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wow, that's what he was saying, and I heard some spoilers, storyline stuff. I'm like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. So I'm gonna pass.
Out of context, it may sound ridiculous, and so like the Superman movie is packed full of plot, so that might throw some people off. But it also like you're in this new DCU that they're establishing. So you get to see all these different things happening at once around Superman, and his main story, his main theme and arc throughout the movie is him being humanized. So like at the beginning, like he's totally kind of idolizes where he comes from, his Kryptonian past and all this stuff. He's like, man, that makes me super, and then, spoilers, Lex puts out there this Jor-El, right, Superman's dad, has a message. Both his parents have this message to Superman, but it's not complete. Lex breaks into the solitude place, right, in the Arctic, and he finds this recording, and allegedly he decrypts it or he corrects it, and you get to hear the full message. And the full message is not good, apparently, which is like basically just like, why don't you go conquer this planet and have a bunch of kids and a harem?
Yeah, it's a Goku origin story.
Parent, I'm like, what I hear as a parent, I'm like, he's telling him to be the best version of himself and to have a lot of kids. I was like, what's wrong with that? Why is that evil? So then, by the end of it, they play up more of his relationship with his human parents and his humanity, his adopted humanity. And that, in my opinion, humanizes him as well as with the scenes with Lois. Some people are like, well, the Lois scenes are, there's like the scene where Lois interviews Clark, and really it's just to kind of inform their new relationship. In the movie, they've only been together a few months, so like they're still hot and new and heavy, and they're still trying to work out their dynamic. and she kind of has this power position where she can interview, she's interviewing Superman, her boyfriend, and it's just a really good back and forth. And I don't know, I liked it. It's one of the best Superman movies ever, and I liked Man of Steel. I thought it was really good, really well done. But this was just like, it was Superman in a comic book. That was fun. It was a good part.
Now, how do you feel about the original 1978 Superman? Was it Donner?
So yeah, Richard Donner. So I went back when they first started doing the teaser trailers for the new Superman. I went back and I watched that one, and I probably hadn't seen it in 20 years or something or more. I don't know. And I was surprised that it's basically a rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you actually sit and watch it, it's more of like a rom-com, and then like the third act is he kind of deals with the bad guy. But as I was like, holy shit, I totally forgot this is totally rom-com kind of shit. And especially it's kind of funny because I don't think they knew what to do with Superman or superheroes. Like, how do we portray them believable on the movie screen, which is a thing that Hollywood had a hard time with for a long time. It's like, oh, well, we have the X-Men, but we have to make them look gritty and real and in the real world and shit like that. It's like, but I want to see him I want to see Wolverine in his yellow suit.
Yes, that's right.
So,
I love the original Superman, and Man of Steel. She's watched it. She liked it. I haven't watched the entire thing start to finish, but I don't know. It's interesting. There's so many people that with the newest Superman, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude won't like it. He's like, oh no, I loved it. And there's some people I'm like, this dude's gonna love this movie. He's like, I thought it was all right. So I'm like really confused. It's just it's interesting how it's divided people, and my perception of who's gonna like it and who won't is just totally like out the window at this point.
Yeah. Well, so with the new Superman, I'll say that James Gunn makes it feel fresh. He makes it feel young and new, and I like that a lot. Like, coming out of the theater, I was like, oh, that's a 10 out of 10. And then kind of thinking about it and, rethinking some of the scenes. It's like, well, there's that scene where he was in this part and that happened. And I was like, that could have been better, or they didn't need that, or whatever it was. And, but I still give the movie like an 8 out of 10. Like, it's easily one of the best comic book movies that's been out in years.
Wow. All right. There you go.
Although I'll say Quantumania, I did not watch. So I did Ant-Man 3 or whatever. No, I'm out. It did not look good at all. After 2, oh man, the bad guy in 2 was so terrible. I was like, so every bad guy is misunderstood. That's what we're gonna do from now on. So
are now in your book, are your bad guys misunderstood? Is this the Spider Queen on the left here? Space. Is she just misunderstood? Can someone fix her? Is that where we're heading?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you can try. No, she's addicted to power. She likes power, and
go on.
She will do whatever it takes to achieve the goals of her god, and his. So, like, over time, I'll put out a source book, and I'm going to do a module too, set in the Immortal Rising kind of setting and stuff like that, as well as keep putting out different stories and stuff like that in the setting. But the bad guy, his main thing is like, he was created by the chief, the creator god in the series. He's created by him, and he's like he's. It's kind of like, well, why did you create me kind of stuff? And if you did create me to suffer this long in reality, then, I think that you're wrong. In fact, I'm going to take over reality myself, and I'm going to recreate reality. I'm going to make the rules in my image instead of your image, and kind of a little satanic kind of vibe to it. And that's what he's done, is he's created over time. He's created an empire to kill his creator and basically usurp him. Or if not usurp him, maybe to end his own life, right? Like, he's done with it. And which is cool. I think it's different. I don't think it's been done a whole lot. So, but not only that, but we see in the story, it's like you get to see such a wide view of the world. So like you've got two stories in one. You've got the God story, and you've got the first level character story. You know, like the first levels don't know what the gods are doing, right? Like at first, they have no idea what's going on, and so you get to see the first level view of everything, where it's just like me and you trying to get through our day, and then the gods in their story, like they're the ones who are like seeing the big chess pieces being moved around, and they're like, oh shit, you know, we've got to move around, we've got to make shit happen so that the bad guys don't kill us all. And yeah, I mean, I think what was it? I don't know. I've heard, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, I like the high stakes in it, and they like the different views of it. How it's like, what is that movie, Clash of the Titans, where you can see, you know, the everyday thing, and then you also get the view of the gods, you know, kind of like looking at the game board. And yeah, it's fun. And to me, that's very D&D-ish. You know, like if you're sitting at a table and you've got your, you know, your low level, maybe they're like, you know, first or fifth or 10th. And then you've also, like, everybody at the table also has the mindset of like they're a council of gods looking down on the game being played. Like some of the players will also have gods who can, you know, depending on the table. Like on our table, you're allowed to interact as if you have a god character. You're allowed to do shit as a god out of nowhere if there's like a reason, right? Like if you have some kind of, and it doesn't like start a shitstorm. It's just like major politics in the world. As long as you don't invade a country, you're not going to piss off a lot of people, right? And that's similar to this. But in this story, it's all coming to a peak. It's all coming to a point on this one this backwater kind of world that has been ignored for a long time, and it turns out has a secret to it that could change the course of the war between you know, the evil god trying to kill his creator. So yeah, high stakes and very drama. I guess that was one of the things. Like a lot of people are like, they like the characters, they like how dramatic it is, because you don't get that in a lot of comic books. So I was like, yeah, well, I wrote it to feel like a fantasy novel, only I put it in comic book form. So, you know, if you like this, you know, Dragonland,
this is the way. Yeah, that's the way.
What's that?
That's the way to do it, brother. That's the way.
Thank you. I think so. Yeah, I mean, you know, you've got your own fantasy comic. You know what I'm talking about.
You need that good story, man. You need that good story.
And you know, there's plenty of people who want that kind of rich environment, this setting. You know, I'm not just like making it up as I go. I live in this setting. You know, almost every week we game in this setting. You know, I know these characters. These are real characters, and I kind of base them off of. I lightly base them off of the players that I played with. So. Like Drake is not me. Drake is not a self-insert. You know,
right.
Who's actually is a totally different person. So yeah,
friend insert.
Yeah, basically, and it's fun to watch them interact because some of their the players' chemistry is in. That's why they kind of bicker and fight a little bit between like Dareth and Drake. Is like. That's how the players were, you know, like they were both kind of hot shots. They also both thought they knew everything. And it was cool because of how it played out over end, you know, throughout the end. And I want that in the comic as well, you know, like these are real people.
So this is book number 2. Me and Kahuna actually read the first book in the series. We liked it quite a bit. There was a lot. We could tell that you have a very vast world and a large vision. And it was a lot in the first book. It was the kind of thing we had to read it a few times. And there's names in there that I was like trying to track them, like Locutus, and then it was like Lox something or Tilixmon. I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying.
The Empress, yeah.
So there's a lot to keep track of, but I was like, man, this dude's world, you could tell he really thought it out, and you had a much larger plan. And like you said, you start off with the characters that are kind of like the small scale, and you get the personal stuff going on there, and all of a sudden it's like, we're out in space now, and then there's like these dudes with the armor and the wings and all this. So the scale starts small, but then you also get massive. In terms of the story, this is book number 2. So how many books are you looking to do to complete this portion of the story?
Well, all right. So this arc, the beginning arc, is going to be 3 of these graphic novels. So I got one more to go. It's in production right now. All the inks are being done, and then it'll be hopefully Jose will be coloring it by the end of the summer. But that's the initial arc. And what that does is it introduces the setting, it introduces the main characters, it introduces the stakes and what quest they're really on, that kind of stuff. But mostly it shows them get over their bullshit and have to work together as a team, and what the final goal that they're all working together to overcome is. So that's what the first 3 books does, that first arc. And then I've got number 4 in the works. And actually, so with these, like these are roughly, well, it's 44 pages, I think, of story, and then filler like maps and extra art and stuff like that. And then so that's what I'm going to do with the next one, the third one. I think going forward after that, I'm probably going to put them out as like 20, like the more classic 24-page books, and just kind of put them out like that. Because on my last campaign, I set them up as floppies, and the floppies did real well.
Oh, okay, cool.
I would say that the floppies sold just as much as the premiums did. So, yeah, I'll probably move forward with that.
Okay.
And then I don't know, we'll see, because it is 2 stories, and chopping it up like that. I don't know. I haven't had any complaints, so we'll see. But yeah, I definitely want to continue on. I would say, so following this story completely, not just like the story of the setting, but the story of Drake Hardy, the main character, the blonde hair, blue-eyed elf. I don't know. I would say I know where he goes. I know what happens to him, and I know what a good ending would be. There's a lot in between that that needs to be kind of like cut out, thrown away, put down into a like an efficient version of it. So I could say 10, but I don't know that that's what it'll be, and I don't want to spoil. So if you see where he comes from and where he ends up, is kind of like, oh, well, I could see that happening, okay. But I don't want to spoil all that. But I think that I could achieve it in, I don't know, maybe 10, 12, something like that. So it's not endless. Because it is really his story. He is the main character.
Awesome.
And if people want to get their hands on these books, it looks like I'm seeing physical only through your Fun Mike comic, and that's the best place to go and pick these up?
Yes. Yep. I've got both the premiums that I've been showing off here. So you get one for 20 or both for 35 plus shipping. This cover, I mean, that's classic. Everybody see the blue girl everywhere.
Yeah.
And then this is
popular.
Yeah, and this cover is by former Marvel artist Jimmy Reyes.
Oh, cool.
And this is Corey Barton. I don't know if anybody knows Corey Barton. He's kind of known for his women, in my opinion. And so I was like, dude, you got to do it for me. And he nailed it. And he'll be doing a cover for the third one as well. So
awesome.
Yes. And little spoiler, the third one will feature dragons. So that'll be fun. Finally get to see some dragons.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to get to the end of mine. I'm literally adapting the story that I revealed dragons in my world. So like, I'm just waiting to get.
Hell yeah!
I want to see it drawn. But what were you saying, Emily?
I was just gonna say these are good length too. I've read some comics that are like 24 pages, and you're like, as soon as you start getting your teeth into it, it's over. It's like, damn it, I gotta wait like 8 months for the next one. Or some books, I've read some that were over 100, and around like page 80, I'm like, all right, this is feeling like we could probably be wrapping this up kind of thing. So I feel like coming in at 50 pages, it's like the perfect length. It's the kind you can read, you can reread, and, you know, there's just enough there to keep you like, all right, what's coming up next? And and your next campaign, when are you said it's in the works, the book is in the works. When are you looking to launch? Like fall, winter?
I'm hoping to launch that early next spring.
Spring, okay.
Yep, that's the hopeful, and we'll see how that works out because I have also. So I want to offer this on your show. If you order tonight, I will also throw in for free Immortal Rising Tales #1. So this is Baphomet's Child. This is in universe, but it's not a part of the main story. This story is actually was featured in Anvil Magazine #2.
Oh, okay.
So if you have that, but that version did not have a cover. Some of the things have been slightly changed from that version to this version, and it's a story. It's a one-off, but it follows unless people like it, the main character, but it follows a veteran spiritual warrior who is on a quest to free a girl who has been kidnapped by a cult of Dracula. Dracula is a background character of my world. Anyways, she's been kidnapped by a cult. He goes in to save her and finds out that her soul has been taken to the spirit world. And so he has to go into the spirit world to retrieve her soul. And that's when he encounters not so nice people and has to kind of sort them out. You know what I mean?
As you do. Yeah. You gotta take the belt off, you know?
Yeah, he's got to take daddy's home, baby.
Yep. Yep.
So if you buy today either the one of the premiums or both of the premiums, which I prefer, I will throw in a free version or a free copy of Immortal Rising Tales #1. Now I bring that up because I have a couple of so there's a couple of things mentioned in the main story that I want to do tales of. So, like for instance, in the story, you are kind of shown that Dracula was a major power on the world and was killed and overthrown by somebody who becomes like a sun deity. And so I want to show that happen. I want to show that guy kill Dracula. And it's all written out. In fact, Jose, my artist, my main artist, he has already done up preliminary sketches of the characters. So I want to put that out there as well. But like, you know, there's a few things going on. Immortal Rising, you know, is not just two books. It will eventually become, you know, its own brand over time.
Nice.
So it's all figured out. It's just going to take time and money, guys. So any kind of help that I can get, I appreciate. And I don't know. I think that you'll like it. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like high fantasy, if you like high drama, you know, that's one of the things that I've heard a lot of good criticism of was that all the characters have their own voice, and that you know you can like the drama is you know it's
organic.
Like you sink your teeth into. Yeah, it feels real. It doesn't feel like, you know, just like fake dialogue or whatever. So I appreciate all that. And then for the art critiques, the great art critiques I've gotten is like with Jose's style, with him being in animation forever,
yes,
or at least a decade or whatever, is that you know, it feels, you know, like it feels like you're watching an anime or reading an anime, like you know, you're sitting there, and the way that it flows together is,
you know,
I don't know.
I
Nobody
noticed
else
that
is
about
doing it.
one of your stills on your Fund My Comic page. There was one still in particular. It was a tiny little panel within the greater panel, and it was the first one of the whole page. It's like where somebody's being blown away by fire.
Yeah,
and it's just like the facial expression, the detail, and like the presentation of it. It's just like this feels like it's in motion. And now it all makes sense because you said he's in animation so much. I'm like,
right,
dude, yeah, it shows. That's
yeah,
very
it's
unique.
totally Yeah, definitely.
The way he draws, it's almost like he sees 5 frames and he picks the one that is the peak amount of movement and whatever that happens to be. Yeah, I remember me and Kahuna again going through that. I was like, yeah, this has like great dynamic, like almost like fluidity to it. It was just very like that. The still, like when you pause a movie on the right frame, it was like every shot was like that whenever there's action going on.
Yeah. So here's some good stuff right here. Kind of show off some of the artwork. So he's not, I don't think he's purposely doing anime. It's just that's his style from being in animation for so long. Just how he draws, and he's so fun to work with. It's such a good time.
That's a very unique. So I've had you at the Pritchard Pub, I think, a couple times maybe, and
yes.
I didn't pick up on. Maybe you mentioned it, but I must have forgot that he had the background in animation, because that's a very unique thing to sell with like a graphic novel or a comic. Is yes,
not
this is
everybody
like a
can do
graphic
it.
novel or a comic, but my artist happens to do like animation a lot.
Right.
So
well, and his his characters and everything and the flow and all that's great, but one of the things that I really like is his color choices. So like on this page, it's really light and pretty, I don't know how to describe it. Meanwhile, something like that, it's dark and it's ominous, and I don't know.
He's conveying the tone with the entire page.
And it's so funny because he hates coloring, and I'm like, dude,
really?
Your coloring is one of the things
that
gets the most comments on. Is his coloring? I was like, don't undersell yourself. I know you don't like it, but look at that. Like, who uses purples and pinks like that?
Yes. Yep.
Nobody's doing that. So, or here we go. This one has been talked about before. That panel right here, where Drake is looking over top of the forest. Like, look at the golds, the yellows, the purples, the reds. I mean,
yeah. the art in it is definitely it's standout. I've read a fair amount of indie comics at this point, and that book. I'm like, yo, this artist is on to something really, really special here.
And we're just getting started, so I'm excited. Going forward, I'm looking forward to everything. And he said he's down. He was on my show, I don't know, a couple months ago, and he was like, "Dude, I'm in it." What did he say? I don't know. Something to the point is, he's ride or die. So great, let's do it. Let's do the whole story. Why not?
Hell yeah.
Good deal.
We got a super chat. So since Kahuna's gone, I'll read it. I'd be the slutty halfling female barbarian. Yep. Sounds about right, Kahuna. Sounds about right. What I was gonna say is your dude probably hates coloring because he has the genius spark going on, where like he understands it too well, where he knows the amount of work he's gonna put into it, whether he likes it or not. He's like, well, I got to convey the tone of the whole page through the coloring and like symbolize this over here.
Yeah,
I guess. It's like,
shit,
sorry, you're a genius,
black
bro.
And whites, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, you're so talented.
Yeah.
So this was an ash can that we did. It was a short story for an anthology called Out of Obscurity that we did for Arrow Comics. Anyways, look at that. Look at this. And he's got his Club Van Fleur book out right now, or campaign. I think it's still funding. I don't know. But so I was like, I had this mad dream of the story, and it wasn't Immortal Rising. It was something completely on its own. And I just like came out of sleeping and whatever, dreaming. And I'm like, I started DMing him. I was like, dude, I've got the story idea. I want to do it in black and white. What do you think about it? And he's like, that sounds great. I've got a great idea for this part that you said and that. And so there's a good chance that once we finish 3 and a couple of the Immortal Rising tales that I have already written, because I have 2 Immortal Rising tales that are written that will be in production as soon as 3 is done. Anyways, But after those are done, I do want to, at least on the backside, kind of do this black and white story that is not Immortal Rising involved at all. So, in fact, it's set in modern day and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Me and him, I think we work well together, and I think we enjoy working together too, which is great. It's like no complications.
That's great.
Yeah, the black and white reminds me of noir, and I think that's needed. The ash can. I love that too. I mean, you're touching on a lot of powerful notes here, just like the movie we watched, and I think you got something good going here, especially if your artist is on board. The coloring reminds me a lot of Luke Stone, actually. Like, I even have a panel with those same purples and stuff, but I didn't want to just keep bringing my own shit up. You know what I mean? It's about you. But like, it just makes me, like, every time I talk to you, it just makes me excited to continue my own.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, God, gotta get it. But yeah, and then especially the background in animation. I hope to see an Immortal Rising episode of something, maybe a little mini movie.
That'd be sick.
Do a boss fight, maybe.
So talked about that. So it's so funny. I DM'd him that. I was like, hey, you know, is there any way we could do like some kind of animation, even if it's 30 seconds? How much do you think something like that would cost? I didn't hear back. he didn't respond. Yeah. You know, about that. I was like, fine, I get the message. I get it. You know, because I was talking to other animators, like for instance, Hometown Bear. Emily, you might know him. I was talking with him. I was like, hey, what do you think about doing some animation? And we were talking back and forth a little bit. And it's just like, you know, I can't afford, you know, it's like 5 seconds of animation is, you know, I don't know, thousands of dollars or whatever. I was like, well, I can't do any of that, you know?
Right.
So, yeah. But that's all right.
To let you in on some inside baseball, I think partially why I'm really excited to finish up my graphic novels, because the next fundraiser I'm going to do is going to be animation related for the fiction that we've been doing for the Iron Seas, and some other test stuff, perhaps, if all goes well. But yeah, our resident artist, Animation Overload, right here, has been doing some of the drawing for that. He mentioned that a lot of that funding, the thousands of dollars or whatever, a lot of that is like voice acting and stuff. Like the animation itself, yeah, it is like detailed and challenging and stuff, but it really just takes time. So they might also be factoring perhaps how much time they are actually at like the computer, maybe like an hourly type thing. Like if they were working, that how many days of work, that sort of thing too, you know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I think somebody needs to really get on top of animation, and I
think that the trick is finding someone who is talented. Maybe they're not at the top of their craft right now, but they're talented and they're hungry. So like they're willing to take on people who can't afford the thousands, you know, but who wants to do that with talent? I don't know. You know, it's like they don't want to undersell themselves. So I totally get it. It's just one of those crossroads that suck.
Well, I've been dabbling in making audiobooks. I'm doing all the editing and audio work for the podcast here and like our shorts and stuff. Been doing that since we started and since before we started with the Pritchard Pub. I also am a musician in background in all this. So basically all those other side expenses like voice acting, all that stuff, even like promo material, just like anything else that's needed really, other than the actual animation, I actually can cover. I can do that myself for my own project or whatever. So like, I feel like there's maybe I'm overlooking something, but like, I feel like there's like potential and a chance here, and animation says just time. And at this point, like, I mean, I got the rest of my life. Let's go. How much time, you know? Let's go. Who cares?
That's what I was saying about like my comic. It's like, you know, Immortal Rising. It's like I'm not. I don't feel like I am pressed for time. Like I don't need to have a breakaway. Oh, you just made $1 million, or whatever. It's like I have. Hopefully, you know, theoretically, I've got another 30, 40 years to sell this thing. So I'm all right. I'll keep making it and selling it just fine. It can trickle in all at once, because really it comes down to quality of customer as well as quality of content. So
Yes,
you
sir.
know, like the people who enjoy it, understand it, and want to come back for more. Great. That's who I'm aiming for. And I'll take my time. I'll let my net sit out in the water until I can grab the right fish, you know?
The way I look at it, it's like a retirement plan, modern retirement. Get as
I don't know.
much merch and stuff ready. Get as many
Yeah.
books out there. Just like build it all up as much as possible, and then when you retire,
Yeah.
you're just that old guy selling shirts and books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
or even like if I can build up enough content, like my kids could be selling this stuff whenever they
Exactly.
want.
Then you
like,
just
later
hand it all
on.
down. You just hand it all down. There you go. Keep selling it. Keep selling it.
Yeah.
Print it. it's
Which
such a good
actually,
idea.
so that I'm hoping next year, probably after I do campaign for number 3, I want to focus on doing conventions. So like just to get my name out there to people who are on the ground buying them in conventions and in stores, that kind of stuff. I'm going to focus on offline. So because so far I've just mainly been online, and I want, now that I feel comfortable with my product and all that stuff, I want to take it to offline and just push this. You know what I mean, dude? You see that at like an animation or an anime convention or something? You're real, dude.
It's gone. It's sold out.
I better sell out, right?
You also get to rub,
I've been there. I've seen the other products. They're not like this. They're not as good. You know.
You also get to rub elbows with other people too. So if there's some bigger creators coming through, you know, you never know what kind of connections you might set up or future things that could go on.
Ding,
So
ding.
there's a lot of good reasons I think to do the cons, and it seems like from most of the people that we know that do them, they have a pretty good time doing them and tend to do fairly well.
Yeah.
Too. So I think there's a lot of upside. I think it's smart.
That is an undeniable way to grow. Just like in a band, playing shows is an undeniable way to grow because you're playing with other bands. Their audiences come in. That's traditionally how it's done. So it turns out that traditional is the way to go. And I mean, on this note, since before animation is completely forgotten about, that's kind of another thing that gave me the idea is like, okay, well, animation overload style is all hand drawn anyway. So like, if it's just a matter of like thousands of frames that are hand drawn and slightly tweaked, that's just a matter of time. And I mean, I like watching old Disney movies. Like, oh man, like we just watched, for example, the official Animal Farm animation. I checked that out, and it's like, that's hand drawn. It's not perfect. It's like you can see the rough around the edges-ness of it, right? And I'm like, this is a treasure. I enjoyed every second of it. Every frame is an NFT, and I'm just like, this is great. You know, I couldn't even show the GIF on YouTube, bro, because they copywrote it, because that's how like organic it is. These are like paintings with every frame. You can't even show the GIF because people claim it. It's like, okay, all right. So that gave me an idea. I was like, Disney was really onto something back in the day with the whole hand-drawn thing, because that you can go back and watch the Jungle Book right now, and it's amazing. Right. The only criticism really is like the sound quality, and that was just a product of its time. But like the rough around the edges, hand-drawn animation, you know, this is like a moving painting that you're watching. It's not modern fudged, you know, whatever. Oh yeah, the modern shit's eye-popping, but it's not frame for frame hand-drawn. So I think if we can get back to that, and it's really going to be just another reunion of humans, right? Like, it turns out the way to conquer AI is human collaboration. I mean, AI is really cheap. Well, good artists can like do like percentages or payment splits, and they can help smaller aspiring other clients with like the business side of things if they're a little bit more experienced, right? There's a way for artists to get out there and compete with AI, just like there's a way for like people to still like indies to be able to still compete with like the bigger stuff. Because if you come up with one of these like hand-drawn animations, like, it doesn't even have to be anything crazy, 20-minute movie of just something relevant, like an isolated story within your world, just something good that you can market on Amazon or whatever, that's gonna just destroy like whatever mainstream crap is being pooped out that year. Like, people are gonna love that. Every second's hand-drawn by this artist, and like it's adapted from this dude's book, and like, what? There's the graphic novel over there. Like, what? You know?
Well,
like,
and I think that kind of stuff is fractal. I think that was the word you were looking for earlier, Evelyn.
Yes.
Is that it's fractal in that it's the same as like, how do you defeat AI in art is that artists combine the skills and they use their talent. It's just like, how do you get out of the system of all these processed food and all this stuff? You grow your own food and you interact with local farmers and shit. So it's like how do you defeat the robots? Humans coming together. I totally get that. Yep. And I think you're completely right.
Because this shit doesn't age. It doesn't age. Yeah. Go watch The Jungle Book. Go watch the old Animal Farm. It's just sound, and we're at a point, like we were just talking about AI music earlier. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Throw good sound in there as long as it's good sound. Do what you got to do to get your product out there. Whatever. Yeah, but if you know Evely, he can make you a track. Also, that's the other thing. Right. So
and AI hasn't replicated voice very well, in my opinion. Like a lot of the AI songs. They sound like AI singers, So, and the lyrics are not there. Like they're very generic.
I'll point you in the direction of our specials and our shorts content on our YouTube channel. I use AI for like the audiobook music that I add into the just the background track. I'll take like this that we're recording right now. There's no silent background. But it's just raw talking dialogue, and it's really nice to just add some a backtrack to it, and I can really set a mood.
I like it
raw.
Have
different genres of it, but that stuff sounds great without the AI voice. When it's just instrumentals, it sounds like perfectly mastered, and like this is great. Like you put it in a good sound system too. It's even
professional
bassy and
musicians.
Stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, as far as like super indie, extremely low budget, like I'm in debt and I can't afford anything kind of thing.
Out of my garage.
You could probably get by with some instrumentals for your 20-minute thing, whatever. Just be subtle about it. But the AI voice isn't quite there yet, for sure.
So, all right, I got a question for you, or maybe even a suggestion. You're talking about doing audiobooks for indies?
Well, for myself mainly, but I could maybe do some other.
It just seems like there is a market, because one of the problems that I have with indie books is that I don't have the time to necessarily sit and read. So I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. But a lot of indies can't afford having their books turned to audio. So it's just like, and I've seen this market ever since Iron Age started. With Razor Fist, is like, well, you can't really enjoy a lot of the indie stuff if you have a full day, but at work, where I'm at work 10 whatever hours a day, I have time to sit and listen. It's like either that or a podcast or a book. And I've gone back and listened to books that I read, like I was saying earlier with Dragonlance and the Forgotten Realms. I went back and listened to all those books because now they're all available on YouTube for free. So now, as an indie author, do you want your book out there, audio for free? I don't know. I think I would be all right with that. Just because
I think I would too.
Being a nobody, I would want it out there just so it can be consumed.
Well, the book is kind of a collector's item. The book is that's the thing that indie authors need to face these days.
Well,
it's a collector's
item. It's boutique. Like the prices on this. You're gonna find this for $8 from Marvel. But, as a boutique item, it's unique, and you're not going to find a lot of them. Not only that, but you help out a beginning artist. It's that's why it is boutique prices. So, which at this point, $20 for one book is like, a one-person meal at a restaurant. So
right. Like, at McDonald's even. I feel like one of the hardest things is just shipping. I wish shipping would come down on some of this stuff, because depending on where you're at in the country or overseas, I mean, I've seen some people that live overseas paying well over the price of the product, in order to get it, and that's like a whole other barrier, which I don't know how you get around that. I don't know if shipping is ever going to get cheap again, or if it's just like
audiobook.
I know a lot of guys go digital, but obviously then you don't have the physical copy. Some people are like, nah, I don't want my stuff digital, because then it's a PDF people can share, and there's that aspect too. But
so how I got around it, how I think I got around it was you have to think in quantity. So if you charge slightly above American shipping, it will help cover international shipping. So you can charge more for international. but that extra, like say shipping, in America is $8. Well, you charge them 10 or something, then that helps cover for international shipping when that comes up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's the only way I've found around it, and that was suggested to me by Critical Blast, who handles my fulfillment. So
he's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, listen, if you really want to do it, this is the best way. And because he handles it, I think he handles like bulk shipping and stuff like that. So through him, I'm able to kind of transfer any kind of savings I get onto the customer. So, basically everybody's kind of paying around the same amount for shipping instead of like $30 for Denmark,
That's
well,
smart.
I mean, it's Denmark. Who cares about no?
Yeah, fuck 'em.
That's actually
Yeah.
a good reason to have a set price too, like a minimum.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And then it's just
Trying to
kind of on
figure
you to
out
make sure the product lives up to that price too, and from there you have a solid product that's worldwide and fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Raven was talking about Frederick Gumon trying to figure out how to ship his comic book out of Canada, or pay somebody to do it all outside of Canada.
Critical
That's
Blast.
exactly what Critical Blast could do for you.
Yeah, there you go.
He's like, he's got like, incorporated business, account, all the shortcuts. So he knows how to do media mail, all that shit. So
I plan on going to Critical Blast once everything's all complete on my
I wish I could just go to him for my printing, but he still hasn't done the saddle stitched. They haven't. I guess that's like a more expensive machine or something. So
yeah, and he has like a streamlined process at this point. So
oh yeah, yep,
I get it.
Yep. I get a lot.
Yeah. He just has to expand, which he'll get there as long as people like us keep talking about him. We'll get there.
Right.
But yeah, so I think it's about that time, boys. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, any last thoughts? I'll have mine before we end the show. But Evely, how about you? Last thoughts?
Oh, just appreciate our guests coming out here. Thanks to the chat. And, of course, you want to check out my music, my new song. Just type in Evely, spell it right, wherever you listen to your music at. You can check it out there, my old catalog. And more music coming in the near future. Some songs tied to some books and some things just on my own.
Nice.
How about you, Aaron? Any last-minute shills, thoughts?
Yes. First of all, go buy my books. And then on top of that, go check out my channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I mean, like, I don't stream necessarily every week, especially when I'm working a lot. But when I do stream, we've got great guests on. Not every time. Sometimes it's just, me and a couple of guys hanging out and bullshitting about what's going on currently, in pop culture and whatnot. So, but not only that, I've got some great older streams as well. I used to do trivia shows.
Yep.
Yeah, you were on.
Rocket launcher kill in a movie. Yeah, dude. That was so good.
Evely was on. Iron Age Media has been on a couple of times on my show back in the day. So I'm just saying, go check it out. It's fun. We have a good time, and I don't know. I try to be funny, and thankfully Chris Fisk laughs at all my jokes, so it seems like I'm funny. So
that's the important thing. That's the important thing. Yeah.
But go sub to my my YouTube. I have a Printify store. So if you follow my link tree, you can find. I've got a couple of different designs. I've got just like a logo. I've also got this one as well as Listo in Hell. So if you're interested, if you like, I don't have it sitting here, but if you like the Listo character, it's a badass scene where he's holding a sword and it's just big and cool looking. So yeah, go check out my Printify store. There will be more added slowly over time. I'm also on Global Comics, which I need to add the second part of the second book. But my link tree's got everything you need for me. Go follow me on Twitter. Do all the things. Hit the likes and the follows and all that stuff. And I'm just starting. So
this is just the beginning. This is
just
of the Immortal Rising.
Now. Get in on the bandwagon now before I'm a hit and you're like, oh shit, I missed it.
Before the gods conspire to make you, ascend to one of them before it's too
Come
late.
with us. You
Get
are
it before
one
it's
of
too
us.
late.
You will join.
Yeah. Well, on my end, I have just been working on a new lyric video for a new Empty My Lungs song coming down the tailpipe. It's called Wither. I'm pretty proud of it. Me and the wife have been jamming it all week. Basically, yeah, just keeping things floating on the old seas over here with the shorts and stuff. So go check that out. I'll probably do another movie review here. I mentioned maybe checking out Fantastic Four. We'll see what happens. We just did a book review for the book club of The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft. That was fun as heck. That's where the clip at the beginning came from. I dug that out of my TikTok, so now it's on here because I just like it. I don't know. I feel like that movie captured like Lovecraft's descriptive thing closely. It's not quite there. I will say that it's not quite there, but like very poetic. I like it. So go check out the book club review. The next review coming down the tailpipe. We reviewed Superman also. Go check that out. Until next week, guys. Thanks for coming, and here's to another good show.
Arr.
Cheers.